This is Mike Kavanaugh with HIVHero.org and Out.com here at the new AIDS Memorial here in New York City. Great day here celebrating this beautiful new structure as a memorial to all that have died and all that we're fighting for against the spread of HIV and the disease itself.
Today is a great day to end the AIDS epidemic. On World AIDS Day, millions of people all over the world will take time to commemorate those we've lost to AIDS, to raise awareness about how we can empower each other to stay healthy, and to look towards the future and hold our common vision of a world without AIDS. When we think of memorials, images of fallen heroes, fallen soldiers, or war heroes often come to mind. It is fitting then for us to finally have a memorial built to honor one of our biggest fights as a people, as LGBT people, as black and brown people, as New Yorkers. Please thank the man who has made this possible. Please welcome to the stage our mayor, Bill de Blasio.
We know in New York City we have a special responsibility not only to each other but to the nation. There are 1.2 million Americans who are HIV positive right now, 10% of whom live in our city. We have an obligation to get this right and to be a beacon for everyone else around our country. We are creating a future without HIV and AIDS. In the year 2015, basically 30 years into this fight, we had the lowest number of HIV infections in 30 years in this city. It took a long time for this memorial to be created. And it will stand for a long time to keep our memories fresh. But most importantly, it will remind us we have set a goal, and we must achieve it. End the epidemic by 2020. It's as simple as that. Let this be the place where we recommit ourselves. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
I kind of want to just step back and reflect about this beautiful memorial, because when I see it, to me, it represents a portal from the past into the future. It was only a glimmer in everyone's eye a year ago that the STD clinics, and I'm not going to tell you what they're going to be called soon, but the STD clinics were going to become machines launching antiretroviral medication for newly diagnosed individuals, PEP for everybody, and PrEP. Guess what? The first 2 people in New York City diagnosed with HIV in the STD clinic have been started on antiretrovirals there. In the clinic, the men and women who died at St. Vincent's when there were no therapies would stand up proud and say, we are going to treat HIV not as something stigmatized, but we're going to treat it like an infection and take care of it. We are treating HIV how it deserves to be treated, like an infection. Very important. PEP. 28 days of PEP, available at all STD clinics in New York City. Housing Works undetectables program scaling up across the city. We're teaching the federal government that if you make things status neutral, it may work better. Equal services for people living with HIV and individuals at risk, which is my segue, because that is a portal from the past into the future. And New York City audaciously leads the way into the future. Introducing New York City's HIV status neutral prevention and treatment cycle. All New Yorkers should get tested for HIV. Some New Yorkers who test negative may still be at risk for infection. PrEP is a daily pill that greatly reduces the risk of HIV infection. It's for HIV negative people at risk for exposure. If PrEP would benefit a patient, a healthcare worker would make sure that the patient is medically clear to start PrEP. Patients and doctors need to have open and honest discussions about sex and drug use to make sure New Yorkers use PrEP and other tools to stay HIV negative. When used together, PrEP and condoms provide protection from STIs and make it nearly impossible to get HIV. New Yorkers on PrEP should visit the doctor every 3 months to test for STIs, including HIV. If someone tests positive for HIV, a second test is done to make sure the diagnosis is correct. It is critical for everyone with HIV to receive treatment from a healthcare provider. Antiretroviral therapy is medicine that stops HIV from multiplying. When it works in blood tests, you can't find the virus. That's called an undetectable viral load. People with HIV who have undetectable viral loads are not cured, but the treatment stops HIV from causing harm. When a person's viral load is undetectable, it is nearly impossible for them to transmit HIV. Using condoms provides additional protection against both HIVs and STIs. Treatment is prevention. Prevention is treatment. People at risk of HIV exposure taking daily PrEP and people with HIV with sustained viral load suppression do not acquire or transmit HIV. We should end the stigma that divides them. We will all be responsible for bringing New York City to HIV neutral. But I wanted to give you a little preview of something else. Stay Sure, our new campaign in New York City. We started by teaching you how to be sure, making sure that people are getting tested for HIV. We've taught you, and you've taught us, how to play sure by combining combinations of prevention. And with Play Sure, which will soon be launched throughout the city, you will see that it's about resilience. That now that we've taught you the story, now that you've taught us the story, it is time to move it into action. We are going to not only tell you that PEP and PrEP exist and that you should start treatment immediately, but we will be doing it in the field. It is going to happen, and New York City has been resilient. We will be HIV sure. We will continue to play sure, and now Stay Sure launches on New York City. Thank you so much. World AIDS Day. Yes! Let's hear it for New York.
When Jesus is my person, a constant friend is He. Oh, His eye is on the little bitty bird they call the sparrow, and I know He's watching you and me. His eye is on the sparrow.
We are watching people being appointed to the highest offices in the land who want to roll back the progress of the last few decades. This memorial says that we must continue the fight and we must continue the struggle. This is far from over. Folks, I would argue this is just beginning. We've got to get back in the saddle and we've got to win this because that's what this stands for. That's what this is about. We must be committed to that fundamental change. We're not going to let them take us way back when people didn't have the health care and they didn't have accessible opportunity, and that's why our friends died.
Being someone who was born in 1982 and found out I was HIV positive in 2004, I really don't believe that it's a stretch to say that I wouldn't be alive. I literally would not be alive if it were not for the tens of thousands of activists who started ACT UP and who chained themselves to buildings and who organized and protested and got arrested and put their lives on the line and put a large condom on Chesty Helms' house and went to the NIH and went to the CDC and said, "You are not taking care of us, we are going to take care of ourselves."
Just steps from the former St. Vincent Hospital, which was once thought of as ground zero of the AIDS epidemic, where so many went to seek treatment during those terrifying years, where doctors and nurses and caretakers of all kinds worked tirelessly, and where family and chosen family held vigil for their dying loved ones.
We all need to remember what happened. We never have to live it again.